welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to talk about manipulation, how to stop getting manipulated and how to deal with manipulative people, why people manipulate. So manipulation is a very unconscious way of meeting your needs. By that I mean that whatever people want, when they are unable to get that in a conscious manner, in a healthy way, they use unconscious ways to get whatever they want, whether it is something, someone, or even love. And a huge part of manipulation is lying. So a person who is manipulative, they don't just lie to others, they also lie to themselves. This is the first thing. They never realize that the way they are acting, way they are making their needs meet is a very unconscious way. So they always think of themselves as righteous, that they are doing something which is absolutely right. There is no problem with that. So they have a huge blind spot. They completely lack self-reflection. This is why a lot of people who are manipulative are also narcissistic, completely self-absorbed, who are unable to see beyond themselves, which is opposite of an empath, who can literally see life from other person's perspective by stepping into their shoes. So it's really important to understand how to deal with manipulative people if you are an empath. So the first thing that makes you a vibrational match to such people is the energy of desperation. Because in the first place, they are acting that way. They are turning towards manipulation, lying, is because they are really desperate. They're desperate for that love, for something, and they always operate from desperation. So when you also hold the frequency of desperation, which can be not similar to them, but in other terms, in other ways, when you are also desperate, there is a kind of a vibrational match. For example, you are a person who has a wounded inner child, and because you have not healed that part of yourself, you desperately need someone so that you can cling on to them, so that you can create a sense of safety. But because you have not healed that part of yourself, or you are disconnected from that inner child, you are coming from a place of pure desperation, that you are desperate for someone because that inner child feels unsafe. You will attract someone similar to that energy, who is looking for someone so that they can feel loved, but they are coming from a place of manipulation. And this dynamic is very much can be found in a empath and narcissistic relationship. The reasons can be different, but the dynamic is the same, that whatever you are seeking, there is an energy of desperation there. And whatever the manipulative person, the narcissist person is seeking, they have a tendency to meet their need in manipulative way. Here there is a certain self-reflection. There is absolutely self-absorption. They are absorbed within themselves. So here you can be a giver, but that person can be a taker, an absolute taker with no boundaries, because they only care about themselves. So first thing is that you have to stop operating in the energy of desperation, which can only happen when you let go from making things happen, which is let go to let it happen. When you stop trying to control the outside and you go within. First you heal yourself. I'm not saying that one day you will be 100% healed, but you self-reflect and you understand that this need of trying to cling on to people, trying to get attached to people so that you feel safe, this is not healthy. And being desperate also is not healthy. So instead of going outside, when you go within, you tune yourself out from that frequency. And when you are able to do that, then you can do the next thing, which is you can maintain healthy boundaries. The thing is that manipulative people don't have any boundaries while they are taking. They only know taking. So you will need to have boundaries, which is you will have to be able to say no to them. And that can only happen when you have said yes to yourself and you clearly know that what you want, that I'm not willing to sacrifice myself. Because empaths usually have a pattern of self-sacrificing themselves, of literally rejecting themselves in order to fulfill other people's needs. And it's a perfect dynamic for what the manipulative people need. You are being a constant source of energy for them, without any boundaries, without any limits. And that's what they want. And you're constantly neglecting yourself, sacrificing yourself. So you have to take your power back by saying yes to yourself, and which leads to self-love. That it's not about clinging on to some other person outside, some other thing outside. It's about loving yourself. And once you start doing that, when you realize that you are worthy, that is self-love. Self-love is not just about physical things where you are treating yourself right physically, you are eating good, you are taking care of your body in whatever way you like. It's about how you see yourself. What is your perception of yourself dominantly? Do you feel that you are worthy? Do you feel that you are deserving? Or do you feel that you are not good enough? So it's not like that 100% all the time you will feel you are absolutely deserving. Some moments will still be there. But what is the perception of yourself dominantly? Is it self-loving or is it self-hating? And majority of the times we don't feel that we deserve the best. We don't feel that we are deserving of more because we have unhealed wounds from our childhood, from our past. So unless you are willing to look at them, you can't change how you operate because that part of yourself is always desperate. So you have to connect to yourself. You have to heal that part of yourself by acknowledging, yes, it is there, and stop running away from it. So when you start accepting yourself, when you start loving those parts of yourself, then your perception of yourself changes. And there are many things that you can do. I'm just giving an example. Healing yourself. Affirmations is another way. See yourself in a new light. Completely change how you see yourself. Then you can say yes to yourself and no to other people. Otherwise, you will not even have a responding energy. You will just react. Anyone will say that I'm here to take your energy, and you will just react because that's how you have been acted all your past. That's all you know, to say yes to others and no to yourself. That is the very core energy of self-sacrifice. So you have to say an absolute yes to yourself and absolute no to others. If you have a people-pleasing program, it will be tough because constantly you are trying to maintain an image. You're trying to impress others. How can be you truly yourself and speak your truth if you're always concerned about what other people think of you? So this again comes from a unhealed wound where you always try to impress others, try to seek their validation because you felt unseen, you felt unloved. This is how your inner child feels. So when you don't heal yourself, if you look closely, you are also meeting your needs in an unconscious way. This is also a form of self-manipulation. You are impressing others so that you feel that I'm seen, someone recognizes me. But here you are not taking from others. You are actually sacrificing yourself. You are neglecting yourself. So the pattern is the same. When you go outside and you take from others, that is what a narcissist do. But when you sacrifice yourself, when you neglect yourself and you try to impress others, that's what an empath does. So there is a polarity. That's why there is an attraction. You have to literally tune yourself out from everything that is creating that polarity. So don't operate on the energy of desperation. Love yourself, say yes to yourself, and be okay if people do not like you. Because you can't impress everyone. In everyone's story, everyone's narrative, you can't control what they think of you. You can't control their perception of you. You can only control your perception of yourself. But if your perception of yourself is a derivative of others people's perception of you, that's unhealthy. Because now you are not in control. Whatever others think of you, that's creating your perception of yourself. This is why you have to only be concerned of what you think of yourself, impressing your own soul over impressing other people. And finally, the most important thing is don't try to be a savior of such people. The thing is that if someone wants to be saved, they have to willing to work on themselves. This is a very simple thing to understand, but the problem with the ego is that once we are attached to someone, once we are clinging on to someone, we just want to save them. You can't help a narcissist manipulative person if they are not willing to change themselves. You can't make someone change for you. They have to be willing to change themselves for themselves. That is true change. That is transformation. Otherwise, you are forcing someone to change. You're trying to save them. You can't save anyone other than yourself. First, free yourself, heal yourself, love yourself. Don't worry too much about others, especially the people who are just taking from you. Focus on yourself. And the more you heal yourself, you will become attuned to the frequency of people who are willing to work on themselves, who really want to change themselves, who don't just want to beat around the bush, who just want to live a surface level life. The more deeply you heal yourself, connect to yourself, the more you will attract people who want to heal themselves on a deeper level, who are on a path of deep healing. So don't try to be a savior. You have to maintain a distance. No matter what kind of relationship do you have, it should be your priority. I need to maintain a distance because you can't change them. And the more you will honor yourself, the more you realize that I'm deserving of more, the sooner you will realize that why am I making myself suffer? No matter what the relationship is, what the conditions are, irrespective of that, you deserve the best. The day you will realize this, you will stop putting up with such energies. But if you are desperate, if you have not healed yourself, you will not be able to see yourself as worthy of the best. So first work on that, and naturally you will tune yourself out from their energy. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You can like, comment and share with your friends. And thanks for subscribing. Much love to you all.